In the dispute over the interpretation of the Brexit agreement, the European Union and the United Kingdom seem to have agreed on a diplomatic ceasefire. Oh shit. In the past few months, the British had demanded that the Northern Ireland Johnson Protocol and thus the Brexit Treaty be renegotiated because the agreement did not prove itself in everyday life and it would endanger the fragile peace in Northern Ireland. No, it doesn't prove itself if you're not doing anything that's in that text. In the EU, the move met with determined opposition as it insisted on adhering to the protocol to the letter. While both sides are officially holding onto their positions, they now seem ready to accept the status quo of restricted goods controls for the time being. From a statement by the EU Minister David Frost, it emerges that London will once again extend the transition periods for goods controls between the North and Great Britain, agreed in the exit agreement. An end of the period was not mentioned this time. The government will continue to apply the Northern Ireland Johnson Protocol on its current basis to provide security and stability to the economy, while talks on a permanent solution with the EU continued, the text said. Frost announced that London had already offered the EU a standstill at the end of July, according to which the transitional arrangements should be stabilized without the EU taking legal countermeasures. Yeah, but for how long, if you're incompetent to do anything? The EU Commission then announced that it would not intensify the legal proceedings against Great Britain that were initiated in March. Further talks have taken place since then. The Commission took notice of the British decision on Monday evening. Our attention is still on finding long-term, flexible and practical solutions for the practical implementation of the protocol, it said in a prepared statement. One will continue to work constructively with the British government. I think that's impossible, but you might be some dreamers there. That was a completely different tone than in March. At that time, London unilaterally extended the transition period for the first time, during which the protocol does not yet have to be applied in full or for certain products. Brussels then spoke of a breach of contract and opened infringement proceedings. In the current communication, the Commission merely refers generally to the contractual obligations of both parties. The procedure started in March and will currently not be continued, which I think is a big mistake. This was justified internally by the fact that this time the British decision had not taken them by surprise. There had been technical discussions over the summer to solve practical problems. A kind of armistice was agreed in the so-called Sausage War. British newspapers had written about it because, among other things, it was about how long chilled British meat products can still be delivered uncontrolled to the north. The next deadline for this would have been the end of September. It opens up the space for negotiations on solutions to specific problems, they said on Tuesday. Renegotiating the Northern Ireland Johnson Protocol is still out of the question. Commission President Ursula von der Leyen had ruled that out in July, and I really hope that they stay with their intentions there. Nonetheless, it's astonishing that the Commission is now ready to forego new deadlines altogether. So far, the argument has always been that the internal market should be protected, which is true. After all, because of the lack of checks on the Irish island, British goods could quickly end up in the internal market. However, the government in Dublin does not seem too concerned about this. They probably also expect that London, for its part, will refrain from border checks for European imports to the British Islands, which were planned from October 1st as well. Irish suppliers would benefit greatly from this, as they already have an increasing share of business in the north. Last week, Frost held talks with Irish Prime Minister the Taoiseach Micheál Martin and Northern Ireland's new First Minister Paul Givan at a conference in Oxford. The Guardian newspaper speculated that the general political climate also favoured the compromise. French President Emmanuel Macron and Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte recently discussed the Brexit issue. According to a diplomatic source, the conversation was shaped by the feeling that developments in Afghanistan have shown the importance of having a good relationship with Great Britain. The intention had become clear to moderate the issue, but I still think it is a mistake to let this incompetent and untruthful government to get away with actions like this. We have a contract and we have proceedings in these contracts that have to happen. Playing soft with the UK government would be a grave mistake by the EU Commission. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.